A very good morning to you guys, and welcome to your English lesson. Just to do a quick shout out, I see you, Bongi. Good morning. Morning, Lesedi. Morning, Rifka. And I think it's Sally. Morning, guys. So I hope you're having a pleasant one. And again, welcome. So today, we'll be focusing on section 3 of paper 1. So that will be language structures and conventions. Okay. And the exam for section C will test your knowledge of language structures and conventions. So this will include vocabulary and language use, sentence structure, and writing and editing skills, okay? And it will also test your knowledge on a visual or rather visual literacy skills and your ability to critically analyze a text so that you understand what it is being communicated, okay? So now we will go over the five sections: visual literacy, critical language awareness, analyzing an advertisement, analyzing a cartoon, and language. So today we will be focusing on analyzing an advertisement, okay? More specifically, okay? Right. Starting with visual literacy. So visual literacy is the ability to make meaning of information presented in a form of an image, as you can see there. So if you are visually literate, you understand what the drawing in a cartoon or the drawing or photographs in an advertisement are communicating to you, okay? And in order to answer questions that are based on advertisement or cartoons, you'll need to be visually literate because advertisements and cartoons include both words and images, okay? So those would be in form of drawing or photographs, okay? Then move over to critical language awareness. So to be critical when reading, viewing, or listening means to analyze the material so that you can understand what is really being communicated, okay? So when you study advertisements and cartoons, you should watch out for, firstly, emotive or motive, meaning emotional. So they use emotive language or emotional language and images to persuade us to buy products. I'm sure you've been caught on that trap at some point where you buy because you got manipulated without even thinking, you know. And so there's also use of stereotyping. A stereotype is a misleading idea of someone or something as a type with no regard to the truth about the actual person or thing. So the ideas that all children are noisy, women belong in the kitchen, or strong men don't cry are examples of stereotyping. So we know that not all children are noisy. Mine are. Okay, so they would fit perfectly in that stereotype, but not all children are noisy, right? And women do not all belong in the kitchen. That is a fact. And many strong men do cry. So those are the truth. But stereotyping is used, it can be used in your cartoons or in advertisements. And then we have prejudice or bias, okay? So this is close to stereotyping. It's a way of thinking that makes us believe that we know something about a whole group of people, and that makes us feel good or bad about them, no matter what the facts are. So racial would be one of those. Religious and political prejudices are very common. And then we have lies, 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 lies. So people who often lie to make you believe or do something. So we forget to ask, is it the truth? You know, some sales people who omit the truth, omit facts. So, for example, an advert may promise miracle diet pills. I'm sure you've seen that. Will turn you from plump to slender in only 3 weeks. You know, or you're not, also told that you will lose weight only if you exercise and eat a healthy diet at the same time. And what exactly plump and slender mean? So omitting some of the truth. Okay. So morning, guys. I see I'm getting shout outs here. Morning, morning. And so lastly, association. So that's when two things are associated in your mind. So you may feel that they go together. So for example, if you are told about beautiful people who are or who use way more deodorant, okay, and who have lots of fun, you're being asked to believe that if you use Wemo deodorant, for example, you will become, those, or you become like those beautiful people and have lots of fun. So even great music in a TV commercial, that's true. That one gets me. So great music can persuade you, that the product being advertised will make you feel as good as the music does. So many fall in that trap, because you associate a certain song with a certain emotion, with places you in a certain, uh, places you somewhere. So they use those different mechanics in order to grab you. Okay. Then we look at advertisement. So when analyzing an advertisement, for example, so the purpose of advertising is to persuade, mainly to persuade someone to buy a product, or to do something, for example, to stop smoking or vote in an election. So advertisements are also announced events. So, for example, Mandela Day or a sporting event. So they also inform the public about jobs or services that are available. So we know advertisements come in many forms. Printed advertisement may be, for example, advertisements containing words and images in newspapers and magazines. You get short advertisements in newspapers using words only. So those are called classified advertisements. You get posters on walls or street light poles. You've seen those, right? Or notice boards. You get flyers. So we know those are loose sheets of paper handed to people in the streets, or, you find when you're driving, there's a person who will ask you to roll down your window to give you a flyer. And then we get catalogs. So those would be booklets advertising all the products made by a particular company or sold by a particular store. So that's all underprinted. Then we get radio commercials, we get television and film commercials, and advertisements on smartphones and on the internet. When you get the free apps, or you enter a website and then you just bombarded with advertisements. And so how do advertisements attract people? They attract people's attention by using layout and colors, which draw attention to specific words. Being amusing and clever as well. We see that in TV ads, or on the internet, in fact, as well. Featuring attractive or interesting people and places, using catchy slogans and phrases, for example, Betty's buns are better, and promoting a bargain and playing interesting music. So you would get that on TV and radio. And when you study advertisements, think about what is being advertised. Uh, how do, for example, sorry, how do I know who is likely to be interested in, or who would you like to buy this product? How do the design or the designers of the advertisement try to make the product appealing? You know, what is the meaning of the words they use? Why do they use these words, in other words? And what does the picture draw, or what does the photograph draw or show? Okay. And why has this picture been chosen, for example? And if I had the money, would I buy this product? Why or why not? So those are the things that the those are the things you need to think about when you look at advertisements. Then we have terms that are related to advertisements. For example, a slogan, which would be words that are linked to a product that are easy to remember. For example, licking good. You would remember that one. A logo, we have a font, so that would be the style and shape of printed letters that are often specially chosen for emphasis in advertisements or cartoons. Then we have the target market, so that would be the type of people an advert wants to attract. Okay, so for example, is there a target fashionable young people or wealthy business people? Then we have a layout. So that's a way the advertisement is set out on the page so that certain words and pictures attract attention. We have language use. So that would be the choice of words and ways of saying things, okay? For example, the use of slang to say jeans to young buyers, formal language used to sell banking services to business people. You get dramatic language used to sell adventure equipment, repetition used to make the reader remember the message. And then we have always figure of speech, as well as sound devices. So it would be words chosen for the effect of the sound. For example, onomatopoeia and alliteration that's used together. For example, shush, baby sleeping, it's time for a soothing sip of rooibos tea, type of thing. Okay, so those are the terms to look out for. Okay, and when it comes to analyzing, when it comes to analyzing advertisements, so it's important to understand what the word in the advertisement what the words mean, and understand what is shown in the advertisement, drawings or pictures, for example. And you also need to pay attention to how the words and pictures work together to persuade the reader to buy a product or do what the advertisement suggests. For example, a road safety advertisement may ask what drivers, or may ask, drivers to drive slowly. Also, you need to understand how the layout of the advertisement and the use of fonts attracts the reader's attention. Okay, and also pay attention to how punctuation has been used. And lastly, notice the use of figures of speech. Okay, so that is all about the ads. Okay, and now we are going to attempt to answer 2 activities. Okay. So this would be our first activity. Okay, so I'm going to need you to have all that information I was singing at the back of your mind. All right, so the activity 4, or rather activity 1, reads as follows. So you need to study the advertisement, and answer the set questions. Okay, so I want you to just have a look at this advertisement. Okay, so what are the things that stand out for you? Yeah. Okay, so just let me know before we continue. What are the things that stand out for you? So what do you think the message is behind this picture here? All right, please just jot down your answers on the chat section. So when you look at this picture, what comes to your mind? What are you attracted by, for example? So what associations can you make? Okay, butter. First thing that comes to mind, of course. Okay, okay. Thank you, Rivka and Lesedi. Says flora makes you big and strong. Okay, so we've got that. Okay. So then anything else that that you're able to pick up from this? And also, okay, so we see something there. Yeah, so there's a slogan and logo there. Yeah. Yes, and also, yeah, also that Flora, love your heart. It's quite persuasive, isn't it? So it says a lot. So what comes to mind, for example, for me would be it's probably healthy, right? Because it's a form of fat, so it's probably good fats, for example. So there's a lot that can that one can interpret from just a few words, or the type of words that are used. And then the ingredients full of omega-3, exactly. Omega-3, we know those are essential fats. Exactly. Okay. Right. So let us go to the questions. All right. So the first one, who is the advertisement aimed at? Give reasons for your answer. So who do you think? Who do you think this advertisement is aimed at? Just looking at, I'm going to just go back so you can see the picture. So who do you think the advert is aimed at? So it says full of omega-3 and 6, love your heart, and yeah, made of seed oil, seeds high in essential omega-3 and 6. So who do you think they are persuading they to buy? Okay, so let's say you say everyone, people of all ages, younger kids. I want you to think about, remember, in an ad, there's a specific target. So they're very deliberate in the type of wording they use, the pictures and everything. So there is a specific target there that they're looking for. So not necessarily young kids. So there you go. Thank you, Bongi. So it's actually people who are health conscious, right? Yes, yes, exactly. So we would say this, that it's aimed at people who are health conscious or people who want to increase the amount of omega-3 and 6 in their diet, or people who have heart problems, or people who want to take care of their hearts, you see? So we can see that the advertiser claims that the product is filled with omega-3 and 6, which are very healthy and good for you, good for your heart. Okay, so that's how we can answer that. So it's actually, yeah, quite a few people. So when we are asked this question in an exam, so let us take care to not say everyone, because as I've said, With adverts, there's a specific or there's a target. There's a target audience, okay, or rather a target market that they're looking for. So you need to think, look at the words and try to figure out, okay, who would, just drop everything and watch this ad or pay attention to this ad. Okay, right. Thank you, guys. Second question. Discuss how the picture used in the advertisement supports each of the following claims. So A, full of omega-3 and 6. So seed goodness, so that's A. And also seeds are high in essential fats, omega-3 and 6, which are good for your heart. Discuss. So remember, be guided by the amount of marks that you get, okay? So don't write the entire page because they say discuss, okay? So you need to write a 2 marks worth of an answer. So discuss how the picture used in the advertisement supports each of the following claims. Full of omega-3 and 6 seed goodness. Seeds are high in essential fats, omega-3 and 6, which are good for your heart. So how would you say there? So we can look at the picture. Let's have a look at the picture, okay? So the question is, discuss how the picture used in the advertisement supports each of the following claims. It's full of omega-3 and 6 seed goodness. And B, seeds are high in essential fats, omega-3 and 6, which are good for your heart. So how would you tackle that one? So what does the picture emphasize there? Look at the picture as well. Picture is worth 1,000 words, they say. Look at the picture there. So what do you think? So he's the little man there is trying to, trying to close the container there. That illustrates something as well, and it looks, full of something. So that also says something there. So yes, thank you, Rivka. So there are seeds in the tub, and he's made, so he's made of seeds, exactly. So that emphasizes, that there's a lot of, so there is seed goodness. So that emphasizes that, right? And so that the container is full of seeds. So that's one. So how else? So how we could answer that would be, thank you, Rivka. So the picture emphasizes how full flora is of seed goodness, right? So the seed, man's foot against the tub, you see, showing how hard he is trying to tie the seed goodness into the tub, but the tub is still bursting open. So it just shows just how full it is. It is overloaded, in fact, with seed goodness. So that is what it's trying to emphasize there. And it would score you 2 marks. So let's look at B. Seeds are high in essential fats, omega-3 and 6, which are good for your heart. Okay, so what do you think? So what can you share there? So as you can see there, so the seed man has a heart-shaped head, okay, if you notice. So you would need to pay attention to detail here, hey? So the seed man has a heart-shaped head, and the Flora logo is heart-shaped as well. And the heart foundation logo is a heart shape as well. So the flora tab bursting open emphasizes the margarine's high seed omega-3 and 6 content. So this emphasizes that the seeds are good for your heart. Okay, so that's how you can answer that one. Okay. So just remember 2 marks. So just your answer, just make sure that you don't write too much, but at the same time, you write or you provide a mark-worthy answer. Okay. Right, let's look at the third. Okay, we've got something there. Okay, thank you, Lucidi. See, you've answered there. There's a figure with eyes covered in seed and the flora. Seed is inside the container. Omega-3 is good for your heart. Heart-shaped head, yes, symbolizing the company logo. Yes, 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 exactly. You would get your 2 marks there. All right, thank you. So we continue to the third question, which is, how is the slogan, Love Your Heart, meant to influence the reader? So how is the slogan, Love Your Heart, meant to influence the reader? So what do you think? Love your heart. So that's we could say that's emotive there. Emotive language used there. Love your heart. So how is this slogan meant to influence the reader, do you think? I'm reminded of another one would be do the right thing, for example. You know, so it's a very short phrase, but it challenges you, doesn't it? It gets you to think. It gets you to consider. So when they say love your heart, okay. So Bongi there, yes, it's emotive language. If you love your heart, you'll do what is right and purchase Flora. Exactly. Perfect. Nice job there. Nice job. So yeah, so it's meant to persuade readers of this advert by convincing them that if you are concerned about your heart, yeah, so then you need to buy the product. So Bongi, that would be 2 marks for you. Nice job. And fourth, does advertisement tempt you to buy the product? Give a reason for your answer. So that's an open-ended question. So if you look at the advert, would you be compelled to buy? Okay. Oh, so Licidi, you were, so your answer is a third, from the third. So it's a reminder to love yourself, take care of yourself, and to keep yourself healthy. Okay. What you would need to add there, Licidi, would be, yeah, so they remind you, they not only remind you, but they actually want to get you to buy the product as well. Okay. So they're reaching out to your soft side and just how you love your heart. But ultimately, they also want to persuade you to sell, or rather to buy that product. Okay. All right. And then, yeah. Okay, great stuff. So number 4, does the advertisement tempt you to buy the product? Yeah, let's go back. So would you consider buying the product? So if, for example, I'll just give you the model answers now. Otherwise, you can continue if you are still writing. So how you can approach this would be, if you say yes, then you would say yes, it is a product which contains essential facts that we need, okay, or that are good for you. Or you could say, maybe if you're not persuaded, if you still like your Rama, then you can say, no, I do not believe that you will have a healthy heart just by using this product alone. Okay, so this goes both ways. This is, based on your opinion. Okay, so, but remember, when you answer that, your, when you support your answer, or when you support your opinion, it needs to relate to the content. Okay, righty. So we continue to the next one. So these will be your answers there. Okay, but remember, these are available online, so you can just in your own time go back, and then you can just have a look at the answers as well. Okay, so we continue to activity 2. Right, so we've got Romany creams, my absolute favorite. Okay, so, all right, so let's have a look at this one. So what stands out for you there? So if you look at this picture, okay, so let's analyze. So what stands out for you there? Use of language, for example, the visuals. What about the font? The pictures? So what stands out for you there? Okay, the visual is a focal point. Okay, so Bongi says the visual is the focal point for her. So would it be the one with the cup? Because that's the first thing that stands out, right? The cups there, tea time type of situation there. Yeah, so having some tea there with, or coffee with biscuits. Yeah, so the visual definitely stands out there. The caption is really interesting. Yeah, Romany creams, irresistibly delicious. And you are meant to read that as well. As you can see, it's big, bold, right? And and irresistibly delicious, they say, they claim, in fact. That's meant to draw you, right? And as it reads there, so bite into Payot's Romany cream and take your taste buds traveling to another world. Wow. They try, don't they? They really, really do. Okay. All right. So we can go to the questions. Okay. So who is the advertisement aimed at, do you think? Give reasons for your answer. So who do you think this advertisement is aimed at? So who do you think? So who do you think would be drawn to this? I'm already sold, in fact. So we would say there, okay, we've got an answer there. Old people. Rivka, are you are you insinuating that I'm old now because I like biscuits? Huh? These ones. Okay, old people. Rivka says, okay, people who like biscuits. Bongi says, Sally says middle-aged guys, middle-aged people. Okay. Uh, okay, so biscuit heads. Guy, I, I don't understand. So don't you like Romany creams? Don't you like biscuits? Why do you associate biscuits with old people? I cannot, but I'm 36, by the way. I don't think I can be put in the category of old people. So you reckon old people like biscuits? Lesedi was politically correct there. He says older people. That is, yes. Thank you, Lesedi. At least, he's using a euphemism there, just giving me a soft blow there. Older people rather than old people. Okay, so old people, you say. So how I would answer it, okay, so the advert is aimed at people who like chocolate, okay? You don't have to be attacking age, yeah? Okay, so it's people who like chocolates or like having biscuits with their tea or coffee, or people with a sweet tooth. Okay, it's got nothing to do with age. Come on now. So are you telling me that you don't eat biscuits? Huh? Okay, so yeah, but I suppose it's that's how you see it. Okay, so I will take it, right? So I would suggest, and also the text would suggest that yeah, it's aimed at people who like chocolate, okay, or who like having biscuits with tea or coffee, or people with a sweet tooth. So I'm all of the above, except for old. Okay, so number 2, interesting answers you give here. Okay, second one. Why are words Romany creams irresistibly delicious written in a larger font size? So why do you think that? So we see here, Romany creams irresistibly delicious. So why are these words written in a larger font size, do you think? And do not say it's because old people cannot see, so they have increased the font. That is not the right answer. Okay, let me stop that before it even materializes. Okay, so why do you think there's a big font there? So that particular one is a big font. Or why do we have big words there? Yeah, to emphasize. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Rifka. Yeah, so that's to emphasize, right? So the big words help to attract the reader's attention, right? And words emphasize how delicious or irresistible these biscuits are. So the words emphasize the name of the biscuits, okay? So there's emphasis, yes, attracts the reader's attention, exactly. Thank you, Sally, as well. Okay. And Wangi says the visual has already captured the consumer's attention and the big words maintain the consumer's interest. So there's emphasis as well in that, right? Okay, great stuff. Thank you, guys. Lovely. Thank you, Lesedi. So Lesedi says it describes the taste of the product, and it does emphasize the fact that it attracts the reader's attention. Yes, exactly. So the main thing is to attract, yeah, so it attracts the reader's attention, and the words also emphasize how delicious or irresistible these biscuits are. Okay, nice. Thank you for not saying it's because probably old people cannot read fine print. Okay, right. So we continue to the next question. No, not the answer. Question. How are the following words expected to influence the reader? Take your taste buds traveling, or rather, yes, take your taste buds traveling to another world. So how are the following words expected to influence the reader? So we'll go back so that you can see. So bite into the pious Romany creams and take your taste buds traveling to another world. So how are these words expected to influence the reader, do you think? So think another world. So Bongi, you say, so by making them curious and want that experience. So we would say there, remember they want to convince. So we would say there, so this convinces the reader that the product is very special and that it's a delicious biscuit, okay? Or you could say that, yeah, the taste is better than the ordinary taste in the world. So they talk about another world. So basically, remember, we would say that the taste was out of this world, emphasizing how special, the taste of that particular thing was. So that is what they want. They want to convince the reader that the product is very special. Unique taste, yeah, Rivka, we would say, yeah, that it has a unique taste, a taste that is not of this world. Okay. Great stuff. Right. And then we have 3 minutes. Number 4. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So let's quickly continue so that we can finish. So would this advertisement tempt you to buy Payot's Romany Creams biscuits? Explain why. In your answer, you should focus on both the pictures used and the written text. Okay. I will read it again. But let's just go back there. Go back. All right. So the question is, would the advertisement tempt you to buy Payot's Romany Creams biscuits? Explain why. And in your answer, you should focus on both the pictures used and the written text. Okay. We're analyzing now here. And it's 4 marks. Okay. So, okay, so let's see. It is a bit difficult. It's 4 marks, eh? It's 4 marks. So, yeah, so this, so we would need to analyze here. Okay. So just look at the different parts of, of the advertisement, Lesedi. And, let that, guide you into what to write. For example, the picture. So what can you say about the picture? The slogan. What can you say about the slogan? You see, so take the different parts of the adverts and say what they mean. And that's how you can collect your 4 marks there. Okay. So, for example, we would say, okay, if maybe you say yes, all right, you could say, so the big words, you could say the picture, for example, the big picture and box make these biscuits look delicious, okay, and then the cups in the picture suggest this will be a good biscuit to have with tea or coffee, all right, and then you can score another 2 marks by talking about the text. The advertisement promises these biscuits are irresistibly delicious and that I will not be able to say no. Irresistible, you see? So analyze the use of words, analyze the picture as well. And then it says the milk chocolate filling tempts me as I love chocolate, for example. And there is a promise that these biscuits have a unique taste and this will tempt me to buy them, you see. So look at the pictures. They will give you a direction as to what or as to what to answer. Okay, let's read Bongi's before we sign off. Time is a serious enemy, I tell you. So Bongi says, yes, because the visual grabbed my attention. Yes. The slogan maintained my interest, and the ad as a whole has created a desire for me to own the product. There you go. There you go. Beautifully said there, Bongi. So so don't get all scared when there's that 4 marks and you asked to discuss that. So what you need to do is make use of the visual, make use of the type of text that is used, and that will give you the right wording. Okay, and think at the back of your mind, what are they trying, or what are they trying to, or what are they trying to get me to do? Okay, with these different aspects of the picture. Okay. Otherwise, nice job, guys. Nice. I really enjoyed the interaction. Thank you very much for that. And yeah, so we will have to leave it there for today. Okay, so you will, as I've said, get your answers when you click on the links that will show at the end. Okay, and yeah, so just continue to practice, practice, practice. All right, so we will leave it there. Thank you so much for joining, and please come through again, same time, same place tomorrow, and have a blessed day forward. Take care, guys. Much love. My pleasure, guys. Take care.